Oh, you thought time was real. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how time is just an illusion, and you'll be able to see it in your 3D reality right in front of your face, how it is just an illusion. And stay to the end because I'm going to actually give you the technique so that you can start doing this for yourself. And you'll know exactly how to create more time for yourself or speed up time for yourself. I appreciate you subscribing right down at the bottom so that you can get your breakthroughs in every video I put out. I guarantee you have never done this experiment, this technique that I'm going to tell you in this video. But first, before I get to all of that, I'm going to tell you exactly how it was for me when I did it. So when I did this particular technique, this was one of the most relaxing times in my life. Like if you're trying to take a vacation or a staycation, this is what you should be doing. But when I did it, I'm usually a night owl. Okay. And when I started doing this, when I was in this space of timelessness, time didn't exist for me. At this time, it didn't. And I went to bed at whatever time it was. Whether I only have 5 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, or 8 hours of sleep, or 10 hours of sleep, it felt like it was more than enough. And also, what I did, I was watching this French movie. I watch movies. I watch some of my favorite people on YouTube and learn more about manifestation and the universe because, y'all, I'm learning all the time. Are you? Do you invest in yourself? Do you take time out of your day and learn what you're interested in? But that's what I did. I did what I was excited to do. I was following the fun that day. And so I did that. And also I was able to practice French because I took French for 4 years in high school. So I have a soft spot in my heart for French, even though I haven't met too many people that speak French, but it'll always have a spot. It was an arc in my life. But it was so fun doing this. I had peace of mind. Like I didn't have to worry about all these different things or have these imaginary deadlines that we set up for ourselves. And also I was able to just relax. I had my son, he was with his grandpa at that time because I was like, I'm going to do this experiment, this technique to maximum capacity. And so when I did that though, I realized, I was like, it dawned on me. And I was like, just because I'm not seeing the clock in my apartment. I'm not seeing it where I live. And that's part of this technique where you don't see time. You don't visually see it. So you're not looking at clocks all day because that's what we do all day. Look at clocks. How many clocks do you have in your home? Like even just in my apartment, I have like 10 clocks. But and that's the thing, because we're constantly physically seeing this time, it re-triggers a belief that we have about time, right? And if you think about it this way, and we can take it in another angle, is when you're seeing something, it triggers something, as opposed to if you just hear it. Because when I had a time where there was a wasp on my car, okay? And these wasps would startle me because I'm like, I had a limiting belief about wasps. And it would scare me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, would these things just leave me alone? So, and even though I know all of this stuff, it's like, it's a good thing to have these tools and should be able to shift limiting beliefs. But when you have the tools, you can decide whether this belief is on the priority list or not. Now, at the time, it wasn't a big priority for me to shift that limiting belief around a wasp. But the fact that I seen the wasp on my car triggered a belief in me. And I know it triggered a limiting belief in me because I felt fear. I was like, oh my gosh. It triggered something in me. As opposed to if I'm on the phone talking to my sister about a wasp, it's not going to be a big deal. But me seeing it on my car right in front of me, that triggers something. Has that happened for you? where when you see something, boom, it triggers an emotion in you, a strong emotion, which means you have a limiting belief, as opposed to if you hear it. You just overhear somebody talking about the topic and you're just like, this has everything to do with the mind. Cover up the clocks and then you'll lose track of time. You won't be triggered with that belief. Granted, when we are in this reality, we all pretty much agreed to play along with this game of time, but you don't have to follow it. It's not a requirement where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to stick to this rigid time. You don't have to. You can go outside of that whenever you want. And with this technique, you'll be able to go beyond that. So you don't have to be stuck on this rigid, oh my gosh, I gotta get this done type of time. You'll be in a timeless spot. And for me, when I was doing this technique, I was so at peace. I was like, this is what it feels like. And that's the perfect time for you to do any shifting that you need to do on limiting beliefs, because you're not being triggered per se. So you can start shifting it and it'll be easy. It'll be fun. You will feel the shifts so quickly, like I did when I was doing this. And go on and do it. And you'll see for yourself. Like, you don't have to take my word for it, by all means, because on my channel, I give y'all the goods. I tell you exactly how to do these things so you can see for yourself and you can see the proof. Because it's one thing listening to me and say, oh, that sounds nice, but I don't know if that's true. Go do it. Go do it for yourself. So doing the technique, I created so much time for myself. But at the same time, time felt like it was moving fast because I was having fun. When you're having fun and when you're in a higher vibrational frequency and you're excited, time moves faster. Have you noticed that when you're having the time of your life and the time just goes faster, you're like, oh, what time is it? Oh, I must have lost track of time. That's because you didn't technically lose track of time. You realize that time is an illusion. So when you realize time is an illusion, you can manipulate time and you can make it go faster. You can make it go slower. You can do more with it. You can fit more things in your day. Y'all, I remember when I watched The 100. Have you seen that show? I'm really into sci-fi shows because it gives me, it talks about the unknown and it's like, ooh, what's going to happen? Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So I watched The 100. I'd watch episode after episode after episode, as many as I could fit into the day. And it was like, oh my gosh, it's already 2 o'clock in the morning, because it was that good. I thought I was having fun. It felt exciting to me. And that's how it is, where you lose track of time, where you go outside of time and you start to live in this timeless spot. So it's not bad binge watching your favorite show. It's actually a good thing, because you get to experience being in a higher vibrational frequency, one, and then on top of that, you get to be in this timeless state. And also you manifest faster. I won't keep you waiting no more. We're going to get right into the technique. So grab a pen and paper so you can write this down. It's pretty easy to do though. So what you're going to do is, if you have kids, for the max results of this, if you can have them go over to their grandparents' house or to their aunt's house, that would be awesome. But if you can't, you can still do it. You can still do this technique. So what you're going to do is you're going to cover up all the clocks in your home. So if you have a clock on your stove, because you're not going to turn your stove off, I'm not asking you to do all that. You're going to write on a piece of paper, now, in caps, N-O-W, in caps, and then put some tape on it and put it over the clock. And then after that, if you have clocks anywhere else, just unplug them. Like if you have an alarm clock, unplug it. On your phone, you want to also take off that clock. I took off my display clock, and I also covered up, because usually on phones, there's a clock that just doesn't go away, and I didn't know how to take it away on my phone. So I just put a little sticker in front of it so I didn't see the time. So you can do that. And make sure on this particular day, you don't have anything planned. So you don't have like any doctor's appointments or anything like that. Okay. So after you do that, you're going to do what is exciting to you. You're going to do what you love to do. Now, if you like to go do puzzles, go do a puzzle. If it's exciting for you to watch a YouTube video and learn more about manifestation and law of attraction and the universe, the history of the universe, do that. If it is exciting for you to go take a walk outside, go do that. Do what's exciting for you. Cook your favorite meal, make yourself a steak dinner or a lentil salad or something, but it's exciting to you. You're going to do this for 24 hours approximately. Now, I didn't have a timer on or anything saying that it was going to be 24 hours. It was just, the sun went down, the sun came up. That's how I gauged it. How they used to gauge it, right? And so you're going to do that. And then also just take a piece of paper and write how you feel being in this timeless state. It's going to feel like a staycation. You're going to have time to do everything that you love to do, all the things you love to do in that day. You'll be able to fit it in, and you'll see how fast time goes by. And you'll also see that you're going to get better sleep. You're going to get a really good night's sleep. You won't know what time you went to bed, but it will feel like it was more than enough sleep. And also, do this on a day where you're not working. So if you have a job, then make sure it's on your off day. Now, I want to hear back from you. Write down in the comments below. After you get done with this, I want you to write your experience, how you felt. That's the last part of this. After the experience is done, after the 24 hours, come right back to this video in the comments below and write down how you feel now that you have done it. I appreciate that you watched this video and that you subscribed right down at the bottom. And I will see you in my next video because it's coming out soon.